You know security is hard, so let's assume we're probably gonna get pwned by noon. But if we all start to get the basics right, we might not fully get pwned until tonight. Okay, hello. I totally wasn't trying to judge whether or not I could run to get a water refill in the amount of time that the countdown clock took. So I think I didn't get a chance to check if all the buttons are working. So maybe if somebody can just tell me, hold on. Yeah, I think that's working. Here's how pathetic I am with my own sound check. Just to see if stuff's happening. Okay, there we go. Live now. So, okay. There it is. There it is. It's working. Okay. Great start. Hi, everybody. Welcome to 7 Minute Security Podcast / live stream. Thank you, Zach, for confirming. I appreciate it. Zach, I don't know if you were on the episode where I talked like the devil for most of the intro because I had a wrong button pushed on the soundboard, which made me go. That might have been too loud. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I'll just get right into it today. Kind of an informal. I won't do a deck or anything like that. I just want to show you what I've been learning about a little utility called PatchMyPC. Not a sponsor, but certainly if you know of somebody who works there or whatever, I really like what I see so far. And the reason PatchMyPC got on my radar again this week was someone sent me, I know what it was. I was talking about Ninite, Ninite. Let me share my little lab computer. Maybe I can just bring up some stuff. We'll walk and talk, so to speak. I've talked about Ninite a lot on the program because that's what I've been using with my Pentest Dropboxes, to keep them patched. And so it never fails. Anytime I mention Ninite on the program, somebody goes, why don't you just use PatchMyPC? And usually my response is, I'm an old dog. I can still learn some new tricks, but it's what I know. It's what I'm comfortable with. Anyway, not too long ago, I think Swift on Security's account on Mastodon, I think did another big plug for it. And another person sent it to me and was like, will you please just play with this a little bit and let me know what you think? So I played with it in the lab here, and I just thought I'll just share with you what I've seen. And maybe some of you who are on this or will see this later, maybe you've played with it and you know the pros and cons better. But just want to show you a quick little, just kind of boot camp tour of PatchMyPC, and that I'm becoming a pretty big fan. Now, as I'm talking about this out loud, I don't want to get myself or you in any sort of trouble. Let me just finish this tangent and then I'll get to it, the PatchMyPC stuff. But the title says, hey, you could use PatchMyPC to auto-update Pentest Dropboxes. What I'm going to show you is the PatchMyPC home updater, which is, there we go. That's where you can get that. So this is free, and this is for the home PC, but here's where I don't want to get myself or you in hot water. I don't know if I might be breaking license or whatever legal rules by using a home PC updating software for potentially commercial services. You know what I mean? Like my Pentest Dropboxes are out there. I buy a OEM license with my NUC to sort of keep the Microsoft license gremlins happy. I don't mean to call them gremlins, but you know what I mean? They're the watchdogs. Maybe that's a better term. I don't want to be out of sync there with the license watchdogs, but I think PatchMyPC's solutions, like for enterprise, I think they hook into SCCM and some of those tools. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But anyway, I don't know how I would use the commercial version for my Pentest Dropboxes, where I have like one of them in 12 different networks at a time. So I'll fit before I ever decide to use Patch My PC officially for Pentest Dropboxes. I'll make sure that I'm all legally and licensee copacetic, and I encourage you to do the same. But anyway, the home updater is what we're gonna play with. Um, this I think before getting ahead of myself too much, I think would be awesome for mom and dad's computer, grandma and grandpa's PC, right? Because you can kind of set and forget this thing and get it up and running pretty quickly. So here is right now we are inside the Active Directory environment for our pen test training class. And if you're like, oh, Brian, for the love of God, please don't plug your pen test training again. I'm going to. We're just super duper quick, just because it's the last class of 2023. I've got our light pen test light training course. That's 3 days. It's 3 half days. And basically, what I give you is direct RDP access into a student VM that is joined to an Active Directory environment. In fact, it's joined to this Active Directory environment. And together we do local privilege escalation. We enumerate Active Directory. We just have a grand old time. We get to DA multiple ways, and we pass and crack and what else can you do? You can capture hashes, you can crack them, you can pass them, you can give them to your friends. We do all that. And anyway, if you go to 7minsec.com/training, you can watch a little YouTube primer about the training. You can also sign up right here for the last session of the year. And we will have more sessions coming up 2024, but I didn't want to miss an opportunity to plug that. So that's the environment we're in now. And one of the reasons we're doing it is not just so that I could do a shameless self-promotion, but this environment is snapshotted from several months ago. So I knew there'd be at least a couple things out of date that would get hopefully flagged by PatchMyPC. So let's go ahead. Here's how tangenty I get. Did I already download it? I didn't. So here we go. We'll just hit in fact, let me do save. Let's just drop it to the desktop just to make things easier on ourselves. And one really personal thing I'm going to share with you is that I don't like to RTFM very much. Read the flipping manual. Certainly, I think a lot of things you should read about, but I feel like patching is I've worked with a lot of patching applications. I feel like it should be fairly self-explanatory, especially if it's a home updater, and I might have to walk mom through this over the phone. So just so you know, everything I'm about to show you, I just clicked a bunch of stuff. And I'm sure you could do it better than me by reading the manual. But let's run this guy. I'm running right now as just a limited user. This is going to be important in a moment on this system. So PatchMyPC is going to do patching. It's going to do system level stuff. So certainly we want to elevate to a local or domain administrator. And please tell me the password. And this is really slick. This just pops open and does the check for you. And let's see here. So right now it's saying, whoa, your Chrome is out of date and you've got some Microsoft Visual C++ that's getting a little long in the tooth. What do you want to do? Well, I could, rescan if I had installed some new stuff, or I can just perform those updates. I think also I can filter what we're seeing with maybe one of these buttons. Oh, 3 apps to install. Okay, these are checked for installation. Swell. 0 out of 3 apps are up to date. All right. I don't know if you're hearing that shiguang, but I'm going to turn it down because it makes my ears ring. Okay, seems simple enough. Let's just start with the basics and say, yes, I want to perform those updates. Couldn't really get more vanilla than that. Let's bring it up to date. Now, while that was going, first time I ran this, I got very excited because on the left, good Lord, look at this quite extensive list of different applications this can recognize and update, So if I had a lot of this stuff installed, it would pick up on it, be smart enough to go find the latest updates, offer them to me, and I could download all the stuff. That's great. So as I think about how could I use this on my Pentest Dropboxes, not just to keep stuff up to date, but What I'm typically doing is I get a NUC back from a customer, so, delete the virtual disk drives, attach new ones, install the OS, and then go through a post install process where some scripts fire and stuff gets downloaded. Um, how could I then, pull down the apps that I'll use in an engagement? And maybe it's not a lot of them, but it's quite a few. I mean, I take Adobe Reader with me. I take FileZilla. I take, I think sysinternals is in this list somewhere. Winderstat, in case I'm running low on disk space. There's, quite a few things here I may not use every time, but I just want them to be there um, from day one of a pen test. So I was like, okay, well, where could I start to build like some automation? Is there things I can do at the command line to make this not just patch existing stuff, but pull down new stuff? So under options, there is a command line options button, and it really just that text might be really small on your screen, but there's really just two switches. One is /auto, where this program will run common updates and it will show the GUI while it does it. Or you could do the /S for silent and just have this run in the background, download all the updates, call it good. But I didn't see like, all right, well, what about, are there additional flags so that, I could say download 7-zip and Winderstat and this and that and the other on a fresh machine? The answer is yes, you totally can. And the way I found that, I'm sure I could find out really easily reading the manual, but I found that by just right clicking a thing that I wanted. So for example, 7-zip, I want that in my standard Pentest Dropbox build. So I do a right click there, and there's a few different options. One of them is add as an auto install in PatchMyPC.ini. It's like, okay, let's do that. Now watch. On the desktop here is PatchMyPC exe. There's also this kind of log file. But now watch this. Now when I okay, yeah, get out of here. Yeah, I don't want you. Now when I right click 7-zip and say add as auto install, it's going to create a third file right there called patchmypc.ini. Okay. So what this means, or what I found out, is that now if I run PatchMyPC, if I've got PatchMyPC exe and PatchMyPC ini in the same folder, and at a command prompt I do patchmypc.exe space one of those flags, it will look to the ini, and also it'll update all the things, but it will also install apps of my choice if they're not already there. So let me do this with one more. Actually, I think Reader is kind of big. Let me do this with something sort of small. Let me do it with FileZilla. Add as auto install. It just reminds you, hey, make sure you've got the ini in the same directory. Fine, we can do that. And then let me just show you, if we edit this, I know just enough about config files to be dangerous, but this looks fairly self-explanatory. So you've got all these text options here, which I think line up with different tools on the left. And so if we go down, let me just search for the word zip. I'm assuming, I think it's a safe assumption that there is no semicolon in front of 7-zip. So it is now selected or checked as something to be updated and or installed when we launch PatchMyPC and this ini file. So I think that would mean, let's see, what else did I pick? Oh, FileZilla. Let me just double check that. Zilla. Yeah, there we go. No semicolon in front of FileZilla. So let's just prove our theory just to make sure I'm right on that. Let's pick something else to install, and let's just do it with the ini file instead of the GUI. So I'll just pick, how about Winamp? Oh my gosh. Is anybody, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Probably dating myself. Just, is anybody watching this ever, have you had Winamp? Maybe it's still around, but like, if you've used it when it originally came out, then we're probably best friends. Okay. I can't find it here. Maybe it's Let's see, miscellaneous. Well, let me just pick something else that's not going to be like super big. How about I don't know, any desk? Okay, I'll uncomment any desk. Okay. So let's save that. Let me just remind myself again, command line options. I want to do it with the auto switch so that we see this GUI and we can actually verify that this works as we think it should. Okay, so I'm going to close auto, we said, right? Slash auto. Okay. We're going to go ahead and need to do a run as administrator. Remember password at all times. Okay. So a little bit. Let's go to users. Okay, so I think I'm going to go patchmypc.exe slash, what did I say? Auto. Auto? I think so. It's going to tell us if everything is working as advertised. And it seems to be. There we go. We're getting ourselves 7-zip with a side order of AnyDesk dipping sauce. Now, one thing I will say, based on my limited testing so far, let's see if this is. Oh, did all the things and then closed, I think, right? Yeah, that's fine. But I think if I look in 7, yeah, I've got 7-zip. So everything worked as advertised. This is by no means like a compare and contrast of 9-night and 7-zip, but I will say 9-night and PatchMyPC. But I will say on the 9-night side, I think they've done a good job of like if you deploy 9night.exe with the different flags to install the apps of your choice, they've done a pretty good job of making it all completely silent. So like the little pop-ups and the nagware and the, hey, I just got installed, all that stuff is just silenced. I don't see it anyway. So I think that part is pretty cool. It looks like maybe the magic is not quite there for PatchMyPC. It looks like, some things will do a run once or, pop up in your face, but still, you know, pretty cool and also pretty, affordable if the price is indeed free. Let's just to make sure it should work, but just to bury the hatchet a little bit, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over to the DC. And really quick, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take those 3 files. Whoops. Just to emulate that this would be a portable install that you could move to other places. I'm going to go to the C drive of where we just were, which is we were just logged into desktop 1 or DT1. And I'm going to do this. Just going to go like that. And then let me go and just change. Let me just go to desktop 2 C drive. Whoops. C drive. Let's go to the student 2 user and right on its desktop. Let's paste those things. Okay. For some reason, it's taken forever and a day. Okay. And then I want to make sure it works and then show you too how then you can just set and forget this with a scheduled task. But there's some nuance to it. And that's what I want to cue you up for before we take a quick break. So here is, this is desktop 2. Okay. And I just copied this stuff over. So it doesn't have much except, I think, Chrome and, Chrome and Java and just everything that desktop 1 had. So, oops. Let me do and go, yeah. I don't want to hear goongy goose. I don't want to hear that. So shut that off. Okay. And this time, let's give the silent install a go, just for grins. So users, student, what do I call myself? 2, desktop. There's all the stuff. Hey, just for the jollies, let's pick one more thing. Flash. No, not that. But how about Firefox? So I'm going to uncomment Firefox and save. And then let's just do it all silent style. Patch my PC, or path my PC. /s go. And presumably, I don't know, maybe I look at task manager. Maybe I will see, maybe I'll see patch my PC doing stuff. Yes. And I don't know, maybe do a little app whiz.cpl again. Imagine we're going to start seeing things get installed. See, can you refresh this? Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe, maybe not. Let's see, 7. Whoops. 7. Oh, you know what? Too. I think this guy here, this text file, this should have a log that would tell us stuff. Okay, suddenly, what was it? 117? Is that where we are? No. Oh, PatchMyPC. Checking connection to patchmypc.com. Oh, and it's not working. Let's see. Hold on. Here we go. Let's just do a little live troubleshooting. Do we have connectivity to the interwebs? Let's go to 7minsec.com. And we will find that we don't. So please hold. Don't leave. Please don't leave. Go ahead and but that does help though, right? Just to have that ongoing log file just sit right in the directory that, patch my PC is at. Let me just, nothing like playing with live firewall rules during a webinar. I'm sure everything will be fine. Okay, let me do this. Let me just see real quick. What do we got here? We got 0.7.12. Do it live. Call this. This is desktop 02. We're going to allow that to do all the stuff. We're going to say save. And here we go. Oops. And it's totally not working. And that's great. Oh, that's because I didn't. Here's the other thing, gang. You got to turn the firewall rule on. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect the webinar. And then hopefully stuff starts pinging. Well, let's see here. Oop. Oh, you're still seeing desktop 01? Whoopsie daisy. Hold on a second. We're going to stop that. Let's try this one more time. Your screen. How about screen 2? Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh. All right. And we're working, I think. We're spinning. Okay. All right. Sorry. I didn't realize you weren't seeing the right screen there. Let me see. Patch my PC die. Well, let me just try. This is my admin prompt. Let me try this one more time. Silent. Okay. And let's see. 124. That should be it. Hopefully we'll start seeing some stuff. That looks pretty good. Silently install 7-zip and badoobly doos. Yeah. So now if I do this, 7. Well, let me look at appwiz.cpl. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, there's any, okay. There's AnyDesk. Oh, Edge. Oh, leave me alone. Oh, leave me alone. One more time. Keep opening windows until this works. Okay. Hasn't quite fully recognized that yet. Okay, well, let me do this, and then we'll just take a quick break. I want to show you something that tripped me up when I got to the point with Patch My PC where I wanted to make this into a scheduled task that would just run like 1 a.m. every day to, keep all the apps updated. Certainly you could go into task scheduler, right? They're not task manager, sorry. Task scheduler. There we go. You could write a little batch script, that just ran this with system privileges. Yeah, that's fine. That would work. But around the web interface a little bit more, they give you they give you the ability to do that right in Scheduler. Isn't that awesome? So let's do it. Let's go. Yeah, we're going to run every day. Run ASAP if it's missed. Yes. Let's run at 1 in the morning. Excuse me. Let's enable the task, of course. Run it silently. Run whether or not logged in. Yeah. Excuse me. Let's turn it all up to true and on. Okay. Good, 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 good. Save custom schedule. Blam. Okay. Schedule created successfully. Now, riddle me this as we go into the break. I'm going to ask you a question and think about it and type your answer if you know while we hear from our sponsor. But here's what tripped me up. I got this all set. Okay. I'm like, cool. Well, let's see what this looks like in scheduled or it used to be called scheduled tasks. I don't know. Schedule. Okay. Go in scheduler. Okay. Look at my library. Okay. Let me make this big for a second. There's this OneDrive nonsense. There's no PatchMyPC job, even though it says it was created. Okay, like a magician here. Let's just say I clicked through all the things and you don't see it. What is the problem? Think about that. Type your answer if you want. Let's take a quick break and hear from today's sponsor, and then I'll be back to show you what took me way too long to figure out. Okay? All right, be right back.
Today's episode of the 7-Minute Security Podcast is brought to us by our friends over at Blumira. And boy, do we love Blumira. It wasn't too long ago we started a podcast series called Desperately Seeking a Super SIM for SMBs. Because everybody needs to be watching their network and Active Directory and knowing and getting alerting when things go bump in the night. And from that series, someone from Blumira reached out and said, well, we're an awesome SIM and we love SMBs. Have you ever heard of us? You want to give us a try? Want to give us a spin? And I said, yes, I want to literally give you a spin in my light Pentest light training environment where all we do, me and the students, all we do every day, all day is beat the heck out of a network and punch Active Directory in the face over and over again. And Blumira was like, yeah, fine, spin up a trial. Let's see how it goes. And oh my gosh, we got all sorts of helpful alerts on things that we actually cared about happening in the environment. Not too many. We weren't getting alert fatigue. We were getting just the right amount of alerts. And maybe the best thing out of that experience was that I got so excited about the alerts. I went to Blumira and I said, oh, it would be cool if you could alert on a couple of other things like AS rep roasting and maybe if someone flipped the wdigest flag on an endpoint so that attackers were able to scrape creds in clear text out of memory. I mean, that's something that shouldn't be happening on the average business day. So wouldn't it be sweet if you could detect that? And not too long after that conversation, they had built detections for both those things. And that's the kind of relationship you want with your SIM service provider. You want to be able to go to them with ideas. You want to be able to take results from a pen test and say, hey, our pen testers did these 12 things. You alerted on 4 of them. Why is that? And if they kind of dismiss you or chuckle or say, oh, let us secure explain to you while you're a moron. If they do any of that, you probably want to tuck tail and run. And I would invite you instead to go talk to my friends over at Blumira, who are very SMB friendly. I really like the whole crew over there. You've heard some of their featured interviews on the podcast.
And I really can't recommend them enough. So go check out their SIM plus XDR solution today. Visit blumira.com/7ms to get started. All right, and we're back. Let me just check the chats here. Akutastic says, is it an admin rights problem? Well, you son of a or daughter of a gun, Akutastic. You're right. Okay, so before the break, I installed a scheduled task using PatchMyPC, but then I went into Task Scheduler and I can't find it. And I either didn't remember this or maybe I never learned of this. I always thought that even if I'm opening up Task Scheduler as a regular user, maybe I can't interact with the different tasks and edit them or anything, but I figured I could see everything. But that's not the case, I guess. So here, I'll leave up in the upper left here. Here's looking at Task Scheduler with just regular writes. And then let me do 1 second here. Okay, let me just open up Task Scheduler. Let's do a right click on that guy. Run as administrator. Password. And if we go into the task schedule library, well, look at this. We see all sorts of fun. And one of them should be right there. PatchMyPC. And it's going to run as system. It is going to trigger at 1 a.m. every day. Excuse me. And really all it's doing is what we did manually. It's just going to run PatchMyPC/silent. So just keep that in mind if you're playing with us in the lab or with mom and dad's machine or your Dropboxes. If we find out that it's fine license-wise to do so, is that the schedule likely got created because you were running PatchMyPC as admin, but you won't be able to see it till you also run scheduled task scheduler as admin. So pretty cool, I think. If you got any last minute questions, comments, concerns about PatchMyPC, let me know. But I'm definitely thinking about using this if it's all good on Pentest Dropboxes. I noticed like way at the bottom here, I haven't played with this portable software library, but here's a bunch of other things that are portable self-contained installs of popular apps. So I find myself needing CCleaner sometime if I've downloaded too much junk during a pen test. Sysinternals, hello. Yes, I'd like to bring you along for the pen test. Some of these other things I know. Oh, what's another one? Process. Some of you people who do the cool like AV bypasses and stuff. You use Process Hacker. Some of these I just want to kind of play with too. Oh, Pigeon. Oh my gosh. I don't know I didn't know that was still a thing, but I guess it is. Anyway, like a really, nice, easy way to take a bare box and like load it up with everything you need to have that box go on the road. Alrighty. Well, thanks so much for checking out the webinar. We got the audio version of the podcast comes out every Friday. So it'll be like this, but the more abridged audio friendly version. 7minsec.com is where you can go for your security assessment, pen testing, training needs. And sure appreciate you and appreciate your time. And hope you have a lovely rest of your week and weekend. So, all right. Well, take care and bye-bye.
You've been watching or listening to 7 Minute Security, a weekly podcast focused on pen testing, blue teaming, and building a career in security. For more episodes like this, visit 7ms.us. And for information about our consulting services, visit 7minsec.com.